Okay, here we go. Thank you very much. I'm here with Noisecide from Paraguay, right? You're the
Yeah,
first
that's right.
band I have from Paraguay, and I see we are in your rehearsal space. Can you please introduce yourself and say who you are and what you do in the band, and then we just take it from there.
All right, so I'm gonna start. My name is Dani and I do the vocals and I play the guitar, and I also produce most of the band's sounds you listen in the band. So that's my role. Well,
Hi, I am Pamela Pansai. Um, y- I play in bass.
yeah, she plays bass. She's a
Hmm.
bass player, and she do backing vocals. She
And
does.
is she your wife or your sister? Because she seems to have the same last name as
We
you.
are all brothers since brothers. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so she's your
Well,
sister.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. So and
So,
now to the drummer.
Hi, hi. I'm Juan Atarix, and I play the drums on Noisecide.
Sehr
yeah.
good, very good. Okay, so okay, it's quite obvious how a brother and a sister meet. But how did Juan get into the band? How did you meet? How did you the three piece of you got together?
Okay. So Juan used to come here because I have a home studio, and he plays the drums with a lot of bands. He used to do drum session basically with bands. So I saw him like he plays really well, and I asked him to join the band. So for for him it was like I don't know how to say. It's like he listened to the songs and he liked them. So he said, "Oh yes, let's try it. Let's do this." Pamela was I found her in Facebook. I saw her playing the guitar and play also the
Hmm.
double bass. And so I asked her if she would like to join the band. Also, she's interested in the kind of industrial thing, industrial music and gothic music, and she said, oh, "Okay, let's try it." She came here once one day and played. Maybe she did an audition, right? And she liked it, so we started the band and we started to do everything after that. After we all three.
I see. I see. So did I got it wrong? She is not your sister, or is she your
No,
sister?
no, no, no. I just said that we are brothers, like we are
Ah,
friends. Yeah,
okay, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Hmm.
But okay, because I thought she had the same last name as you.
Oh yeah, that's a nickname,
Ah,
basically
okay.
our alias. Yeah,
I see, I see. Okay, so you
yeah.
fooled me. You
So
fooled me here. we could we
no,
could
no,
have
no.
started some rumors.
It's like from Dani side is from noise side and Pan side from
Ah,
noise
got
side.
it, got it. Hey,
And
okay, okay.
Atarix is more like because he plays a lot of
I
video.
see, I see. Yeah, so you fooled me. Okay, so you're a band of brothers and sisters, but you're not related like by birth or something. Got it. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Can you just give? I mean, I already saw that Juan is a very good drummer, and okay, and Pamela is a good bass player. I'm pretty sure, but I saw him drumming in the video, and I was like, wow, what's going on? So how what's your musical backstory? I mean, because if I'm not absolutely mistaken, you have your 10th anniversary right now, right? Like Noisecide is like 2011 or something. Was it founded?
Oh, and well, it was an idea first. It was my idea in 2012,
Okay.
but we started in 2019 because
Oh, okay.
I just had that name So when I had that name in my mind, I just went to YouTube and Instagram and everything, and
Okay.
I just, how do you say, like I put the name there, like register the name,
Okay.
and it stayed there. So after that, I couldn't do anything. I was in another projects and all and everything, and then just in 2019, I decided, okay, I wanna go with this band. I wanna do this band. So that's the history behind the name. Yeah.
I
So
see. I
that's why
see.
you see. That's why you see the YouTube name and so on.
Okay, okay, because I was like, oh wow, man, this is your 10th anniversary, and we're gonna have this talk. But I mean, in a way, it is because the idea is already around for a long time, but the band kind of formed just 2019. Okay, I got it. Um, so. I think Pamela already touched on it a little bit. So she has kind of a gothic background, and dark wave gothic background. And so, what's your background? Where you coming from? I mean, you have played in bands, Dani. So what's your musical upbringing? Where you coming from music wise?
She's a punk rocker. Yeah, she used to play in a punk rock band and hard rocker. She likes glam rock and hard rock
Okay.
and
Okay. Blues.
blues. Yeah, she loves blues. She really into blues and BB King. A lot of those great guys.
Okay.
Um, what else?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about you, Dani?
Oh, I listen to everything. Basically, it's like pop, death metal, EDM, industrial. I love industrial because they incorporate. I mean, the bands incorporate the electronic sounds. Mainly city things from the city, things from the today's sounds. I don't know how to explain. It's like very actual.
Hmm.
At least for me, that's what I listen. And my background is like death metal and thrash metal, doom metal, folk metal, um, a lot of metal. Basically, I listen most of the time. My childhood and everything is was more like thrash metal and rock, hard rock, basically metal. And then I started to listen to more music, more like some alternative like Nirvana and maybe some pop artists in general
Hmm.
and punk rock also or the new punk rock. I also know the old punk rock school, but and also I love hardcore. I love hardcore. I don't know how to say maybe New York hardcore. I love that type of hardcore. So I listen to everything really
Yeah,
and
you're really
classical music.
all over the
Classical
place.
music is really classical music is my base really. Like John Sebastian Bach is basically one of my top composers. So I have a picture of him there. So yeah, I can say like I listen to a lot of style of music. Yeah, and I learn from everything. I learn from everything.
Hmm.
That's my
Yeah,
my
so you're
background.
all over the place, kind of. It's hard
Yeah,
to kind of pin you down to one specific genre. Then. Hmm.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And Juan, what's your kind of backstory?
I I heard punk rock, pop rock, um, a lot of music, a lot of music. Punk is my first, ¿cómo se dice? Con lo que yo empecé.
Yeah, he started with punk rock basically. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Pennywise, Lagwagon, um, No Effects,
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm. Yeah, the big
y
names.
mucho
Okay,
más.
got it. Okay. So and I mean, it's really tough. How would you describe the music you're doing now? Because it's really tough to kind of categorize it. And that you just understand me. I hate genre definition. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Just to put it out there, for one thing, I hate that you kind of have to say, oh, this is that and not that, because it can be whatever, you mix genres, apparently, of course, yeah. So I get it. But on the other hand, I'm also a radio DJ. So sometimes it's very important for me to at least classify it a little bit, that, because if you give me whatever, then I'm more into gothic, dark wave, and industrial metal. That's kind of what I'm liking. And if you give me too much of a broad sweep, then you might not be right for me. So how would you describe it with all the influences you have in your music? What is kind of your main genre kind of thing?
I think the main genre is is industrial, because maybe we put a lot of music elements there. So I always say like alternative industrial electronic metal, basically, because
that makes it easy, right?
yeah, because it's industrial, but we have alternative. So sometimes people don't know what is alternative. So there's a lot of confusion there as well. It's like, what exactly is alternative? So alternatives, that's why industrial, because it's basically the main, and then you put alternative there, and metal, because we have like a strong bass. I mean, strong bass in the sense of distorted guitars and so on. So basically, I would call this industrial alternative metal, basically, in my opinion.
Okay, no, yeah, that's also the best description with some electronic elements and stuff. Yeah, it's hard to classify, and I this is a really stupid question, because music is music. Just listen to it, but sometimes you need to to fit into a box a little bit so that we can. Yeah, did you ever try to kind of talk with a label to to get signed and to get some help? Because for this you would need kind of a genre definition, how you advertise yourself. Have you tried that?
Not yet. I mean, we thought about it, but not yet. Because when you start a band, it's like you have to make yourself, like, do it yourself to get a fan base and so on. So it's like you have to build your band, like you have to grow as a band first, I think. And then when you have like some fans already, maybe you can start and send your demos or talk to people from the records. So they say, okay, this band is working, is really working. They doing their job. So yeah, because I think a record label is looking for a band that really works, like
Yeah.
they do stuff. So maybe if you are just new, and maybe they say, oh, they are new, we don't know what they're going to do next year. Maybe they just end, and I don't know, they just split up, whatever. So I think it's better to build and grow as a band first, and then start to pitch to some records. I don't know. That's my opinion.
Yep. No,
And
and you seem to do quite well. I checked beforehand. You have some videos out, and on Spotify you're doing well. You have a lot of followers. I saw you were big in Russia. You're big in Russia.
Oh, yeah.
Russia and Helsinki. So your Europe is also on your map. This is some for okay. I'm always a little bit surprised that like bands like, I'm in Germany, bands like Rammstein do very well in in South America, and
Yeah.
so but whenever I find very little South American bands. You're the second band I talked to. The other one was from Colombia, who does this kind of music. So I'm puzzled a little bit by this. That for some reason it seems like that industrial metal or this. Rammstein is here in Germany. It's called Neue Deutsche Härte, New German Hardness. It's not really industrial metal, they call it. It's more like hard rock kind of stuff with electronica. So what I'm puzzled at is we are doing quite well in South America, but I don't find many South American bands doing that kind of stuff. So my confusion is just. Are you a little bit the outsiders there, or what's the music scene in the place you are in Paraguay?
Okay, so I think, well, I think the South American love more rock and roll and hard stuff in general, and that's one thing. And another thing is like we don't do too much industrial. At least here in Paraguay, it's more like thrash metal and maybe power metal a little, but it's more like thrash. They are thrashers. Um, Industrial is not popular, I think, not here and not in South America. When we do, when we play, when bands play, but Rammstein is a huge band, so they make huge. They are not they are I think they are known in the world. So I think they did their job really well, and that's why, because good music, they do good shows, and there is also an industry to sell. The problem here in South America is that we don't have the industry, the music industry, like developed. It's like we do music because we like. So if you want to sell music, if you want to live as a musician, at least just playing in a band is really hard. I think it's not hard only for South Americans, from all the world, but from us it's harder because we don't have a how do you say, like market. We don't have like a market, and we don't have but I mean in the sense of the metal. And if you listen to Latin music, like I don't know, Julio Iglesias, Shakira, yeah,
I know them. Yes.
that market I think works because people from here, and I live all my life here, it's like more that type of stuff. They like more like tropical things, like something more like happy. I don't know how to explain. And metal is more like angry. You're angry,
Aggressive,
and you
yeah.
is aggressive. So it's, I think the people in general is different. It's like, but at the same time, we like. I mean, the people that likes heavy stuff, like really, and mostly bands from Europe and from United States, and some of Brazil, from Brazil, basically. That's
Okay.
why I think that's why maybe the industry of the metal is not too huge, and that's why. But I can address that also Paraguayans at least don't in are not too much into electronic stuff or something that has electronic elements, because I'm more like conservative. I don't know how to explain. More like old school thrash metal, or more like old stuff. Yeah, that's
Okay, okay. No experiments, basically.
no, not so much, not so much. I don't know why, but that's
So,
that's
so
how
how
it is.
how does this has effect on you? I mean, you're now together since 2019, and I don't know how much the pandemic will have affected you. But did you play live? Did you had live shows going on? I mean, were you on stage performing?
Yeah, we were on last December 4th. We were playing at the Absolute Rock here, Isla Beni. And yeah, it was great for me, in my opinion. But we are like, how do you say, like in the I don't know the words, and ending maybe the pandemic,
Hmm.
and I don't know, but bands are starting to play again in the
Okay.
venues here. Yeah, but like really taking care of ourselves and using the alcohol thing, and so we don't get the illness.
Hmm.
But I don't know how it's in Europe, but we are starting to play again. And I mean bands, and we played in last December
Hmm.
4th. We are planning to play more this year for sure, but we are waiting because we don't know how is these
Yeah, yeah,
things. How do you say the
yeah.
vacuum?
Vaccination,
Uh,
vaccination.
the vaccination,
Mm.
exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
Okay. So, but my question was more towards aimed towards. Do you have problems with your kind of specific genre of music to get gigs to find, because you don't fit anywhere? I'm pretty sure. You don't have any other bands who you can play with. If you say you play punk, everyone knows what's going on. But you play. Your industrial alternative metal. So what is that? So
Yeah.
this was more of a question. Is it tough for you to find venues where you can play?
Not really. You can just talk to the venue owner and say, "Hey, maybe if you bring your video, your music video with you,
Hmm.
or something like that, you can talk to them, and they will understand, and they will give you or if you say, okay, we are industrial, but we are playing with these guys, like they do other stuff, like maybe I don't know, metal, thrash metal, or something like that, or metalcore."
Hmm.
Yeah, they say, okay, no problem. So, no, we are not, I don't know, so we are not tough in this.
Okay.
Yeah, we are not close in
I
that
see.
sense.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't have problem, and we also do our own concerts. So we just invite another bands, and it's not a problem really in
Hmm.
that sense. But yeah, people like, okay, what do they do? But if you invite them, they will go.
Hmm.
Just it's a matter of how good you do your marketing campaign for the concert, maybe.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
And also, I guess how you do your shows and stuff. So, I,
Yeah.
I hear from this. So you have some friends in other bands who kind of they invite you and you invite them, and then it's kind of a um, I don't know, a vice versa thing. Kind of, if they play, they ask you, and if you play, you can ask them to support, or you support them. Stuff. Okay, so it's not impossible. Um,
Yeah.
so how was your music received the one time? I mean, when you played live, were the people were we going for it, or were we kind of like, okay, what is going on here? I want to listen to it more carefully.
Yeah, it depends of the day maybe because sometimes they really enjoy it. So like hey, they don't know us, but I say, "Ay, come on, yeah, play it again," and they enjoy.
Hmm.
And some days it's like, okay, they say they applause and so on, and seems like they just enjoy it, but they didn't say anything or they don't say anything. It vary in me. I don't know. It's like, but the more you play, maybe they're going
Yeah,
to.
we warm up. We will warm up. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
It's because
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's why I asked. It's not you don't have a usual brand of music. That's what I meant. Yeah, if you do punk or if you do fresh, then it's easy for them to classify you, and then they say, okay, cool or not.
Mhm.
And here you have to always kind of like, yeah, it's a little bit like this and that, and people have to listen to it to really understand what it is, because words don't mean much. But you said you kind of go to the venues and bring your video. So what is in store? Because I saw one kind of, I mean, very professional video, and then I saw some lyric videos. Is there more videos in the works? Because this is also important, to be um, to happen on the internet as well. That's why we are talking also that people can find you here on my channel then later on. So we need to spread the word that you are out there. So what do you do in terms of video and maybe about marketing, or how do you get out there?
Yeah, we are currently we are working on a new video from our new single that is out. It just went out. It's called My Desires. So we are working this Monday. We are filming. We are shooting. We are doing the shots. Um, we do everything ourselves. So we film. We do the green screen. We go to the software and we edit. I use Blender. Um, So basically, we are doing a new video, and after that, we share with the fans and on Facebook, and also we do some promotion on YouTube. So Google, we paid for Google, so people can know what we do, and so on.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, from my perspective, I I do it because I love it. So I do art in. So now it's starting that I just do what I love. We do what we love. We are here from that. But we would like to share our music and be known, of course, and see what people can. How is this band good? Is not? Do they their work really reach me or not? That's up to people. But we love what we do, and we're continuing doing.
No, I mean, this is obvious. I mean, I can tell you this is the best thing you can do, because people will also feel if if you're not loving what you're doing and you're just doing it because you want to get lots of money. I guess nobody of you would mind getting lots of money, but it's better to be rewarded for what you really love, for what your heart is really into. So I'm absolutely with you. This should be the way, and in this instance, it's also good that you don't have a label, or that you don't have somebody who kind of ask you, okay, you have to bring out a new single every month, or that you can work on the music you love and how you like it, and how you want to do it. That's very important, to have this freedom, that nobody, you don't have an overlord telling you what you have to do,
Yeah.
Talking about the musical freedom. So there is the three of you, and I take it, of course, Dani, you are the guy who kind of brings in the most ideas. But how does a song happen with you now in your three people constellation? So when can you walk us through the process of how a song starts and how it gets to the finish line? Because you bring maybe a riff, and then Juan is playing some drums, and then comes a little bit. So how does it work? How do you go about it to get to a song, to an end of a song, from start to finish?
We mostly do this in front of a computer. So maybe I do a riff, and Juan says, "Okay, this is a good drum for this. I mean, a drum pattern for this riff." And also we start to program the electronic stuff. Sometimes from there, you can do a riff over the electronic stuff or elements, and so on. And we start to write also the drums, and then we start to play. I mean, when we have something, we come here and we play, and we try. But at least we find that it's easier when you work on the software, because you change the idea really fast, really quick, and you do everything like easier and quicker. So much more quick. I don't know how to say quicker.
Faster.
Faster. Yeah. So I think the software, if you go to the software and you put there and you play, I mean, you have already some MIDIs and patterns you just put on the DLW, yeah, you go faster like that. And then when we have everything, we record the drums, we record the bass. So Pamela also says, oh, okay, this is good. Oh, no, this is kind of so. Let's just take off. And so mainly is on the software. Mainly is that. Then after we have everything like a demo, the idea, I start to um, create the melodies. Just the melodies, no, not lyrics, not nothing. So I'm more for the melody, and after I have all the melody, I write the lyrics over the melody. So I put and I match the lyrics, and then when we have everything, we record. We record everything, and then the mixing, a lot of hours in the mix, and finally the master process.
So you do this all yourself on yourself.
Yeah, here in the studio. Yeah.
Okay, and how do you, because that's a little bit the tricky subject sometimes, how do you make sure, I mean, first of all, that you get to an end point? Because, when you can always add a chorus, and you can add this, and, you can add some effects and stuff. So this is a problem. And also, after you have listened to it extensively for a while, you cannot listen to it anymore subjectively. No, I mean, you, of course, objectively. That's what I want to say. I talk with a lot of musicians, and most of them, and you can walk me through that's why you don't do that, give it to someone else to mix it, because they're too attached to it. I mean, you worked on it, you recorded it, and you mixed it, but then you give it to someone else who mix and master the whole thing, because when you have a fresh set of ears, somebody who's not too involved, because you get my point. You cannot listen to it with fresh ears. It's just you have played it for months maybe, and listened to it extensively, so it's not easy to get out of a bubble. So how do you get to an end point then? Because there's always more things you can add or subtract, or and change around things. When do you decide this is finished, this is done?
Well, we just live. When we have everything recorded, we just live there like for maybe a couple of weeks or more. So you, as you say, just rest your ears. After that, in my case, I listen to a lot of bands, a lot of how I would like to sound. Like why? Because they have like a concept of the sound, and I listen to the bands, and they say, okay, I like this sound, this kind of approach. And after that, when I have 2 weeks or more, sometimes it's more because we have the songs there and they are just there, and maybe after 2 months we open it and we mix. So
okay, that's good.
yeah, and it's like the concept for me. The concept is the key. I listen to some bands, and okay, I like this is how they approach the sound, the concept, the whole concept. And when I listen to that, I just start and mostly started from the kick, always kick snare. Then and from there I go to all the instrument and the elements. Yeah.
And how do you because you have obviously you have a lot of electronic elements in it, and you are only 3 people, and bass player, guitar, singer, guitar plus singer, and drums. So you have a backing track to put in the missing elements, or how do you do it?
Yeah, we use Reaper. We put all there is with. Sometimes it's going in stereo, depends on the venue, but basically mono. a backtrack mono, and the other is the metronome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that goes to the main board, the main console, and Atari listens to the key, to the click,
Mm-hmm.
and the return on the monitor, the other instrument. It depends. When we go with all our stuff, we do like really really well mixed. Here we have all in ears, and
Mm-hmm.
we do everything like that. But yeah, we use the backtracks basically in just play the backtrack, and I don't know, maybe I think a lot of bands do that. Like
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
have a stereo and one metronome and one the backtracks, backing tracks, and that's it. It depends on how good is the mixer in the front house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I get it. The only thing is, and how do you cope with that? Because you are a three-piece band, you know, and if you don't have a backing tracks, you basically could go off the rails, you know. If you play live, and the people
Okay.
are going for it, you know, you could just look around and you could look to Pamela and to Juan and say, okay, let's do another chorus, and you know, let's play it again, you know. But you cannot if you have to stick to your backing track. That's the point I'm trying to make, you know. It's live.
Okay.
I get it, you know. Don't get me wrong. I understand this, and you know, I talk with a lot of dark wave bands as well, and they're just doing, you know, and then singing over a completely fabricated track. So I'm not saying, you know, I don't want to put you down here. It's just how do you cope with this a live feeling? I mean, you're playing live and you're singing live. That's all clear, but you are stuck to the exact amount of time the backing track gives you. You know, so
Yeah.
how do you keep it that it's not getting stale? You know, that is still kind of a live feeling. That's what I'm asking you now.
Okay. I think it and every day is different. It doesn't matter if you have a backing track. It's like you feel in the moment. Yeah, the structure is the same
Mm-hmm.
as you said, but you put the feeling is different every day. For me, at least, it's different. Every time we played, it was different. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I change the melody sometimes. I change the way the phrase. I change my solo. We change things.
Agregamos
Yeah,
pequeños
we
arreglos
we
durante el.
we add arranges even if we are stuck to the structure.
Okay. Okay.
And I understand your point, but I think when you put your heart there, is
Mm-hmm.
every day is different for me. At least for me, it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong. You know, I talked with a guy from Australia, and he's just a one-man show, and he says, you know, he just starts the track, and then he, like you said, he just lets go and just see what happens, you know. And but it's always the same tracks and stuff, but they're always different, you know, because how he feels and how he interprets them, you know. But it's just kind of like. You know, I'm a bass player too, Pamela. We are sisters and brothers. So, you know, and that's why I know how things go on stage, you know, with a it's normal band where you don't have a backing track. You just do this, you know, just like, oh yeah, you know, the people are going for it. Just play another chorus, just play another turnaround of whatever you're doing. But yeah, if you're stuck to the metronome and if you're stuck to a certain amount, then it's tougher. That's why I ask you, and you already answered my question. It's not impossible, and you stick to the metric, but you don't stick to the song per se. I mean, there's still things you can still play on the guitar, and if Pamela feels it like on the bass, and also, I mean, everyone. Okay, I got it now. So I'm through with most of the things I usually want to ask. So one question. It's more like a fun question. I know now that you haven't played that much live, as you have just started 2019, and this was a kind of a bad year to start because of the pandemic, of course, you know. So, but were there any fun stuff that happens while you were on stage or off stage? Some people tell me some funny stories when we're touring and stuff. Was there any mishaps, any accidents or something? Some funny stories you can share?
Fortunately, we didn't have any trouble when we play, but we can say that to go into, for example, we when we played to another city,
Mm-hmm.
there was a rain, really huge rain. It rained like crazy, but we had to do it. So in the half of the way, there started this rain, and and here is really tough
Was it
when it
El
rains because
Nino? El Nino.
yeah.
Was it El Nino? The rain, El Nino.
Ah, niña. No, it was no. I'm not sure about that El Nino. Yeah, but it was crazy. And in the half of the way, we said, okay, let's go, let's do it. So and also in the venue, the how do you say the microphone and everything was like, oh man, what we got here? How we are going to play? Because the microphone is not good. The console is not good. They didn't put. They just put one monitor, one return monitor, and it was tough. But we ended doing it. And the funny thing is like people really got crazy. It's like okay, they went like they liked it, and that
Cool.
was really cool. So besides all the things, the technical stuff and everything, it was a good concert.
Hmm.
And that maybe was one of the toughest one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Everything else was here in Asunción, so it was easy. It's like we bring our stuff and nothing too complicated. But
Nice.
maybe in the future, I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean, let's talk about this. So, what's in store for the future? So, what's going on? What's your next steps? So, you just said there was a new single coming out, and is there an album in the works? And you already said also that there is a new video in the works. So, what's the next steps for Noisecide? So, what can we expect from you in this coming year?
And hopefully, releases more. We are going to release more singles. We are stuck to singles because people is like they are have too many things to listen to. So if you put an album there and maybe they will listen to two of your tracks and then go
Hmm.
to another band and to another. So I think from my point of view, it's like easier or better to put single after single and concentrate everything in one single video lyrics or lyric video. So that's what we are going to do this year. So try to release at least one a month, one single a month. And I don't know about the video clip because video clips are more difficult to do. We'll try to um, do the singles, more the singles, focusing on maybe video lyrics, and try to play here, of course, when
Hmm.
the pandemic and the vaccinates everything. I
Yeah,
hope everything goes
yeah,
better again.
nuestra meta.
Yeah, and we also would like to play maybe in Brazil, maybe we also. I mean, we have this booking agency doing some job. I mean, they are looking for some place to play. So it's called Death by Metal. Um, they are working, but they say okay, this year maybe about September is
Hmm.
going to go like normal. So maybe we will have our first international concert. Maybe
Cool.
it
So
depends.
you're coming to Europe or what?
Oh, that would be cool. That would be amazing. We're going to see. We're going to see how that goes.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
that's the plan.
Okay.
and releasing singles, try to play here and internationally, and keep doing music for sure. And we can, and you can expect like never expect just one thing from Noisecide. It's like, oh, this is a new
Expect the
song. Okay,
unexpected. Expect the
yeah,
unexpected.
expect the unexpected. Exactly. Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
why you said because you only doing singles, and I completely understand this. This is like this is the new way people consume music. It's not that we're waiting for an album or something. We might wait for an album if you're Rammstein, and then we wait for 10 years for a new album or something, but not if you're just trying to make it. But why don't I mean? You have a lot of singles. Why don't you put them later on an EP or an album? This is if you put out every month a single, you have 12 singles out at the end of a year. So why don't you combine them to an album and re-release them maybe with a bonus track or something? So
Yeah.
what's holding you back there?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, maybe we can do as you said. Like you said, like yeah, 12 songs mm, plus the remixes and plus bonus
Yeah,
track.
exactly. Remixes. That's a
Yeah.
good idea. Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
So you have some. You cannot just. That's for sure. You cannot just use the 12 songs you have and put them on one album, because then people
Yeah.
would like, okay, you already released them, so why do you do it again? But then do a remixes or a special song, some live renditions or whatever. Something extra on it, but doesn't take so much effort. Let's put it this way, and then you have an album release. And then you can have hopefully an album release party or something, and
Yeah.
going on tour to Europe, and then we meet in person, and then we can have another interview, and maybe I will brush up my Spanish, my non-existing Spanish, and
Yeah, I get it.
what
But
can
but we think I mean we are going to have an album after. I mean
Mhm.
maybe in 2 years, like putting an album from scratch, like, and
Mhm.
when we release it, like here is our album. But for now, it's like we're going for singles, and yes, as you said, maybe we can do like okay, here are 12 of our already released singles,
Mhm.
and we are putting here in one album plus some bonus tracks.
Exactly,
Yeah,
some extra stuff.
yeah,
No, this sounds like a good plan. And
yeah,
once you're going out doing live shows again, people can also film some live show stuff, and then you can cut things together. Anyway, you s- I have to say, you seem to know what you're doing, so I'm not afraid that you will get somewhere. And whenever you have some new stuff out, please get in touch with me, because I'm a radio DJ as well, and I can play your stuff, and I have a little playlist, and so I can do my little thing to help you a little bit along the way. I'm not huge, but every bit helps. I'm pretty sure. So
okay, and thank you so much.
thank you very much for your time. I'm through. If you want to share something with the world, it's now or never. If you wanna give some closing thoughts, you can do this now. If not, yeah, thank you. Muchas gracias.
Oh yeah, and so just want to tell people that if you listen to our stuff, please go to our socials and let us know what do you think about our music. And besides that, that everything is going to go to normal again, and everything is going to be good again. That's my opinion, and
Cool.
I wish that, because it's like a lot of concerts they are gone. So let's get back to normal. Let's get
Hmm.
back to concerts and festival, and so people can be alive and happy again.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying that they are not happy, but
Yeah,
we
no,
need
I
concerts, we need festival.
exactly.
Yeah,
We need to live again. We need to breathe, to go outside, to meet other people, to mix and mingle, and stuff. For me, going to a concert is like going to church, like a congregation. You kind of are there with other people, and anyway, I miss it also a lot. Now it's it's not easy, but anyway, we are alive and everything is good, and you're working on new music. That's all that counts. So thank you very much. It was really nice getting to know you, and of course, I'm looking forward to see you playing in Europe. It's just 1 or 2 years, and when I see you here over in Wacken, or maybe in the big festivals and stuff.
Yeah, it could happen. Why not?
Yeah,
we're going to make it happen. Yeah.
Okay, exactly. So thank you very much, and have a. Is it what time is now in Paraguay?
I think it's 2 p.m. I'm not sure.
So buenos, not just buenos días, no,
tardes.
Buenas tardes, señor and señorita. Buenas tardes. Hasta luego. Hasta mañana. No, hasta la vista.
Hasta pronto. hasta pronto.
Hasta pronto. Hasta pronto. Hasta la vista, baby.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Bye.